Hello everybody, it's Tuesday night, it's October 28th, 2025, and I'm going to look at a few things for you. It's really important that we keep our optimism intact no matter what's going on, okay? It's really important. If we don't have optimism, then where are we? So, I have a few things here. I actually made a little list, and I want to look at, first of all, I want to just look at this whole kind of pathos that we're in, the whole Twilight Zone pathos feeling that we have, that there is the equivalent of a Stephen King horror movie villain who has been in our noggins for the past 10 years, destroying this country. I mean, like, Joe Biden is just like, okay, do we even remember? I mean, I want you to remember that I had made, if you didn't hear this, I made 22 videos that are 15 minutes each or a little longer of all the achievements of the Biden-Harris administration. I did that. I did that shortly after Biden was diagnosed with cancer. And he was here in Boston the other day, this week. And he got some kind of a Lifetime Achievement Award. So, but even during the Biden years, we never heard about Joe Biden. Every single time they would mention his name, they were mentioning how he was old. Is he too old? Is Joe Biden too old? And then we'd hear this all the time coming out of Dumpy. The Biden crime family. The Biden crime family. Hunter Biden's laptop. Over and over and over and over and over. And the media has been complicit every step of the way. I remember there was a moment that Biden was asked a question by a reporter, whatever it was that he asked. Biden responded with, "It's because of you." He was calling out the media for not covering anything about that administration. I wish it still was this administration. I stand firm in my belief that the universe is not letting us off easy. The universe this is one way of looking at it. The universe is testing us to see if we are willing to step up and save ourselves. Are we willing to step up and save ourselves? Pardon the bird clock in the background. I'm not sure what bird that is. I have to look. What's the 8 o'clock bird? The universe needs us to show what we're made of. So I'm going to read some cards. I'm going to ask the guides, do we have to just keep watching him destroy everything? Just going to ask the guides. The first thing that came to my mind is it will shift. It will shift. I'm going to read you something that Kathy Beal sent along to me. So it's this. A baseline MRI is required before starting treatment with this particular drug. Donanemab was approved by the FDA in July 2024. Like lecanemab, it is an anti-amyloid antibody for treatment of prodromal to mild Alzheimer's, requiring confirmation of elevated beta amyloid through an amyloid PET scan. Treatment consists of monthly IV infusions. A baseline MRI is required, followed by 4 safety MRIs within the first 8 months. Let's ask this question. Is Donald Trump taking this drug, which requires MRI scans? Is he currently in treatment using this drug? Yes. So for all those years that we had to listen to Joe Biden's age, Joe Biden's age, Joe Biden's age, when have we ever heard, if you even watch mainstream media anymore, when have we ever heard, I wonder, some reporter, I wonder if Trump has dementia? I can't recall ever hearing that, even in the mainstream media news clips that we see on the various pro-democracy channels. So, we'll look more into that in a moment. But first I want to look at these redistricting battles and how the Democrats are doing. And I'm going to pull a few of these cards, which I always pull in the morning for Off the Ledge. I'm going to pull 3 cards to guide us through what's happening with these redistricting battles. What's the energy of them? Now, and it's funny because I just, my guides are saying there's a lot of spiritual support from the other side coming to us. We have to be available to receive it. We do. And that means we're not sitting around lamenting. We're expecting good guidance to do good, like to save the world. Because that's what we're doing. We're being called upon to save the world. So what's going on with these redistricting battles? I actually see, yeah, it's schizophrenia. This is schizophrenia, these redistricting battles. I really feel like this is pointing to the MAGAs that are doing this. They don't want democracy anymore. They want to make sure that we can't vote. And it's a real schizophrenia kind of a thing, because it feels like their brains aren't working right. And that really feels like their brains aren't working right because their brains have been hijacked by insatiable greed. But we're listening to our inner voice. This is about the redistricting. And the love for country and the love for one another, the caring and compassion for one another, makes the American people really dig in on not allowing this redistricting to destroy our democracy. I think the message is becoming really clear. And I think that when people stand at the precipice of the risk between being able to eat or to not eat, human nature says that if there's a risk to your life coming up, you're going to definitely look at, okay, what's going on? What are the details of the situation? Because you'll want to get a handle on it. And when people look for the details of the situation as to why they're going to potentially lose their health care and their food money that belongs to we the people, they'll get involved and do everything they can to stop this redistricting bullshit. And that includes voting, but making sure that their vote counts and making sure that everybody they know votes, because they're destroying this country. And the people have the power to shut this shit down. The Lover card told me all that. I know. It's my interpretation. But we underestimate the power of minds joined together as one. We really do. We underestimate it. This is why E pluribus unum was one of the founding fathers' Latin phrases that they used, out of many one. Because they realized the power of many coming together. Let's see. Governor races. Okay, I'm going to read on that next. I'm being so organized tonight. Is the moon in a earth sign? I think it is. Yes, it is. It's in Capricorn. That would definitely mean organization. So the governor races. I'm going to pull 3 cards on Mikey Sherrill and Abby in Virginia. Mikey first. The governor's race. Eight of Wands, fast-moving action. The world is her support. She has universal support. Mikey in New Jersey. And the Nine of Cups. It looks positive. Yeah, it looks like she's going to win in a landslide. I mean, maybe I'm just being all Pollyanna here. Is Mikey Sherrill going to win in a landslide in New Jersey? That's interesting, because I know people in New Jersey are saying, oh, it's so close. Oh, it's so close. Is it the, well, look at it this way. If they cut SNAP benefits on November 1st, the evil demons that they are, where how much cruelty they can inflict is the point, then Mikey Sherrill will win. Is that what does it? Yes. It's just what I was just saying. When it comes down to, wait, you're taking away our food? Look at all the farmers that are suffering right now. Wait, you're taking away our crops? Wait, you just took away trade with China? This is big. This is big. This is really big. This is the kick in the ass that America apparently, I hate to say it's what we need, but this is what works for America to get moving. It's really the kind of thing that I feel like I just want to say that every one of us right now has to kind of get in the mindset as if we're running for office ourselves. And if you're running for office yourself, all of your time, well, if you were actually running for office, your whole life would be consumed with running for office. We don't have to do the fundraising personally. So we can act as if we're running for office, but without being on a campaign trail and without having to do all that crazy fundraising, which is really the problem with our democracy. You know, pretty much hands down. And Abby in Virginia, how's it going to go for her? I remember reading on this a little bit last night. I did a late night video. And I got the Five of Cups, which was really about, it's going to be some wins and some losses. So, in Virginia, we see Justice, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Swords. I think that it looks like the Democrats are going to win their races, the governor's races. So that's how it looks thus far. That's where the energy is thus far. And let's ask this. Are the MAGAs going to be successful? Like Chiapparelli in New Jersey and Glenn Youngkin in Virginia? Are they going to be successful at rigging the election so that the rightful winners don't win? No, they won't be. I'm getting the sense that it's going to be hard for them to push back when we have a fascist regime in office that's pushing people into starvation and potential death. Well, definitely death. If people lose their health care, a lot of people won't make it. I think it's going to be hard for the MAGA Republicans to push back on defending their position. Okay. We're going to look now at the destruction of the White House. I was reading an article about how that all was able to move forward, and it's despicable. And Sheldon Whitehouse has a great ad out that spells it out, in which he has footage of them demolishing the White House, and he has the names of all the corporate donors coming across the screen. Check it out. I'll repost it. And Benny Thompson, who was on the January 6th committee, is writing to these corporate donors. And I'm going to get a copy of that letter. I think it was Michael Popak last night. I meant to dig that back up. They're taking issue with these corporate donors who wanted their ballroom. And so they donated to Dumpy. And then I'm not sure if he told them that he was going to tear down the East Wing. Did Dumpy make them aware that he was just going to tear down the East Wing illegally? It's not his house. Did they? He didn't tell them. That's interesting. We have some leverage there. It would behoove us to get a list of all the huge corporate donors and to sign petitions and to send them strong messages and to boycott them. If anyone's still on Amazon, you have your reasons, but I would like to know that you're reconsidering. Now, here's a question on my mind because I keep picking up that Dumpy is thinking about this. Just like I pick up that Dumpy fantasizes about killing his enemies. Does Dumpy, is he planning to take a wrecking ball to the entirety? Is he planning to? I just mean, is it in his head and in his plans to take down the entire White House? Okay, so I have a no. So let's hope that that stays a no. Is Dumpy going all nuts and being all destructive because he's freaked out about the Epstein files? Is that what it is? It is. Were he and Epstein partners in their, you know what, trafficking operation? Were they business partners? I don't have to say a word. Okay. The next thing I'm going to ask, look at me, I'm so organized. Will SNAP be cut? It's just, I know, we can't believe it. Will SNAP benefits actually be cut on November 1st? Okay, I have a no. Is Congress going to step in and stop this? No, because they're not, the Republicans aren't there. Will SNAP get the emergency funding that it needs so that people don't go hungry? It's not that. Are people going to lose their SNAP benefits on November 1st? I have a no. So, all right, well, we'll see. The energy is not going towards people losing their SNAP benefits on November 1st. I might have the date wrong. Do I have the date wrong? November 1st is a Saturday. Are people going to lose their SNAP benefits on November 3rd? Oh. Okay. Sorry to confuse you. I'm pulling 3 cards about that. So we the people, we're a very wealthy country, even though the oligarchs have taken all our money and continue to. We need to not support them. Look at what happened to Disney after they pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air. We need to speak with our withholding of money from them. I'm pulling 4 cards. I meant to pull 3. I'm pulling 4 about SNAP. This is, this is where the rubber hits the road in terms of people really, it's undeniable what they're doing to the American people. What did we do to them to deserve this? King of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. I'm asking about people losing their SNAP benefits. I see a whole lot of shuffling things around so that people don't go hungry. This is a wake-up call. The Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I see a whole lot of things being shuffled around so that people don't starve. Okay, we're going to ask this. The dumpy dementia situation. I'm liking these cards tonight. I'm going to stick with these. The dumpy dementia situation. Actually, for this, I'm gonna pull these other cards. We're using Halloween cards tonight. Halloween weather this week doesn't look stellar. It's not going to rain here, but it's going to be extremely gusty winds like we've had so much of. All right, and speaking of gusty winds, let's just have a moment of silence for the people in the Caribbean, the people in Jamaica. I know there's a horrible, horrible, devastating hurricane barreling down. So let's close our eyes and just think about the people in Jamaica and the other affected islands. Sending love and light there. And thank you. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a lot of that wind here. Okay, so, I mean, a lot of wind just in general. Dumpy's dementia. What I want to really find out, I'm going to ask the pendulum first. Is Congress going to be forced to enact the 25th Amendment? Are they going to be forced to? He's not functional. And it gets worse every single time. I mean, he's just wandering around like not knowing where he is. That's basically what's going on. He was in front of the some group in Malaysia. I don't know what it was for. Nobody even knows why is he in Malaysia and Japan? Nobody even knows why. And he's standing up there saying that the UN, the teleprompter stopped at the UN and the escalator stopped at the UN. It's like, what? And the election was stolen and blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you what, other countries just don't know what to make of this. We're sending every other country into a tailspin. It's bad. We think that we're the only ones that are freaked out. No. All right. His dementia. They basically have just propped him up, like they're standing behind him and holding him up like he's a corpse. I got the Three of Cups about this last night. I do think that he'll have to step down because of his dementia. I do. It's not, they can't hide it anymore. It's elder abuse at this point. Not that I feel sorry for him, because he's an abusive man, obviously. How we ever got a 34 times convicted felon to be president of the United States, I know. It's a wake-up call. Most people don't vote. That's changing. I do feel that he'll have to step down. And a week or so ago, I felt like something was going to happen the end of this month in terms of him needing to step down. But man, he's got to deal with the devil. He has a deal with the art of the deal with the devil. Before we go, of course, I want to ask about the shutdown. So let's go back to these cards, and we're going to ask about the government shutdown. I got to use these cards since it's Halloween week. And then I'll be putting them away. I'm going to ask about MAGA Mike specifically. That little weasel, he just does these interviews and just lies profusely. Diarrhea of the lies, honestly. MAGA Mike. And then I'll ask about the shutdown specifically. King of Wands, the Fool. Two of Wands. He's just trying to hold the line. MAGA Mike's just trying to hold the line. And it's funny, I'm looking at the King of Wands. It looks like he's holding up his middle finger to me, but it's not. but it kind of looks like it. And you pay attention to those things when you're reading cards. Yeah. Yeah, and he's got fangs. Yep. He's listening to the devil. Maga Mike is listening to the devil. He's looking like a total fool. And I think this is a humiliation exercise that Dumpy is putting him through. The Two of Wands, he's just trying to hold on. Okay. Are they going to end the shutdown? I ask this every time. Will they be ending the shutdown? Uh-huh. They will be ending the shutdown. I know it's hard to believe. This week. Next week. So yeah, I think everything's just, I think it's so flipping, flopping, so flipping crazy. What's been consistent, if I use the law of averages, is the pendulum has more consistently said the first week of November the government shutdown will end. So we'll see what happens with that. There are lawsuits galore every moment of every day happening against this regime. America has been through some really tough times in the timeline of history. We're in an unprecedented one. And that's why I show up every day, to keep us strong and to keep reminding us we have to watch the way that we think. Okay, so let's just take a moment, another moment before I sign off tonight. Close your eyes and see America restored, healing, and restored. Think about all the brilliant people who are working so hard to save our nation, and direct all your positive energy, all your light to them. And say, together, we all have the power to change this. And so it is. Namaste. Thumbs up, please, to book a session, psychic@netion.com. If you're a member, you're invited to our psychic party on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. We'll be celebrating the Day of the Dead. Just click the join button to join. All right. I'm here every step of the way. All right, we'll see you soon. Namaste.